G'day guys and girls, welcome back to Sidequest Gaming, where we take a look at both old games and new to try and uncover some of those little hidden gems you might want to give a crack and try out for yourself. Today we're taking a look at Broken Roads, which is an Australian RPG. A really unique little title, and so being an Aussie myself, I'm really intrigued by it and I want to see what a post-apocalyptic Australia could look like. So we're going to dive in for about 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay as usual, and as always I'll give a bit of a wrap up of my thoughts, feelings and impressions at the end of the game. Let's dive in.
They thought ending the world would end the war. That much was passed down. Everything else has been lost. When the bombs dropped, 80% of Australia's population was wiped out, just like that. Those who weren't immediately vaporised carried the radiation inland, poisoning all the pretty places they crawled to. The desert swallowed the rest. Despite it all, we survived. We rebuilt. We even formed strong enough allegiances to have wars of our own. But these wars were of disease, of hunger, of people who'd forgotten the sacrifices that have always been made beyond the steady glows of the cities that now choked with dust. Our great-grandparents made it. We will too. All it takes to thrive in this new world is guts, grit, and hard yakka. That's where you come in.
Alright, so we are going to start with, as all our good RPGs do, with a bit of character creation. So we can be a hired gun, a surveyor, a barter crew, or a jackaroo. So down here, each of these give us different starting points, and these do have quite a bit of an effect on the different choices we can have throughout the game in terms of quests and things that we encounter. So hired gun's obviously a bit of a mercenary style. We get shooting mastery and opportunist along with some strength and awareness. Surveyor is awareness and intelligence. So this is kind of a bit more of an intelligent character. A barter crew is all about charisma and selling things, and jackaroo's kind of a bit of a tinkerer, jack of all trades. The pun skill is a really interesting one that we'll talk about a bit. You can kind of just give things a punt, give them a go, which kind of lets you have a chance to spend pun points to kind of try to overrun, like to reach skills that you wouldn't otherwise have the skill ranks to achieve. And punt is an Aussie slang word for just giving things a shot. So maybe we're going to go a surveyor. That feels good. Let's go a surveyor. Continue. Let's pick a portrait. I guess he's got a beard. Beard makes me happy. And our name will be Sidequest, which ain't a really good name, but we're going with it. Morality. Now, the moral compass. This is cool. I think this is a really unique thing this game does. I really like it because you probably don't know this about me, but I actually have a background in philosophy. Yes, I am that lame. I did study philosophy for a while, and the way that they've kind of put their moral compass together is between utilitarian, humanist, nihilist, and Machiavellian. So 4 kind of opposing quadrants of different philosophical stances that you can take on life. And we have a bit of a choice-based dialogue system that helps us determine where our character sits within the scheme of things. So this kind of really helps us lean into the role-playing element of the RPG, which is cool. So let's yes, we're going to display the moral impact. So let's dive in here. And I'm actually going to read these out. We'll probably have a slightly longer video so we get into the gameplay while we do the character creation as well. So, you have been out in the waste for a few weeks, mapping out a possible new route to Kokeby Waste Station, and your supplies are running low. You come across a half-overgrown track and find a badly injured merchant. She says she was attacked by a pack of wild dogs and begs you for some water. It's clear she's close to death, however, and no amount of water will save her. So we can be a humanist and end her suffering. We can be a nihilist and just ignore her and go through her cargo, taking whatever we can from her. We can be utilitarian and provide some basic medical care, and then go after the animals as they pose a danger. So basically we're just absolute goody two-shoes there. Or we can be Machiavellian and take what we want from her cargo, but try to find out where she came from. So basically, take her stuff and steal from her. So you can see how the quadrant kind of moves depending on our choice. Nihilist, I'm kind of leaning towards where the really self-centered loner type is a surveyor. I think I kind of like that idea. So we're going to ignore her, go through her cargo, and that's all we're going to do there. Alright, you've discovered a cache of pre-apocalypse supplies in an abandoned farmhouse. You can't carry it all back on your own, so you enlist a few friends from town to help. When you return to the cache, you find a group of emaciated scavengers in the process of looting the place for themselves. Do you let them take the supplies? No way. Threaten them, and if they don't hand over the supplies, kill them. That seems to match what we're thinking, but what are our other options? Let them take the supplies, but secretly follow them back to their home. Once there, you can loot their other goods and kill them all. Dark as hell. Humanist, we can let them go. They're starving. They need the supplies more than us. Or utilitarian, we can tell them that we found the place first, but offer to split the takings. Nah, lean into the nihilism. Let's do it. Alright. You've been captured by people who have clearly gone mad, finding yourself in a pen along with a Jew farmer you've met before, a mercenary stripped of his weapons, and a terrified young family. The captors assemble a massive pyre, indicating their intent for a twisted sacrifice. Noticing a guard's distraction, you're certain you can escape on your own, but every person you bring along increases the chances you'll get caught. Okay, we can take advantage of the distraction to get everyone out and try and save as many as we can. We can stay focused on ourselves and slip away on our own. We can convince the merc to come with us. The Jew farmer can likely find his own way out, but the family will be nothing but a liability. Or we can get the family out first. We are going to focus on ourselves. Once again, selfishness all the way. It's a post-apocalypse after all. A nearby townstead has a new chief, and he's starting to flex his muscles. He sends out an envoy with a threat. Pay tribute or suffer his wrath. He clearly has the military strength to back it up. Do you pay? Alright, if he thinks he can take it, let him come. You are not scared of his threats. Okay. Negotiate with the envoy and escort him back. Concealed, your top fighters follow. In town, publicly execute the envoy, displaying his head on a spike. Warn the others to surrender their chief or face the same fate. Send scouts to see if he can enforce his demands, or send an envoy in return to negotiate. Oh, I kind of like the Machiavellian version. You know what? Oh, or we could just keep going down nihilism and just push that dot the whole way down. Tempted by Machiavellian. No, we're going nihilism all the way. We're in for a penny, in for a pound. After a series of raids on caravans passing near your home, you put together a scouting party. You've caught a bandit leader and one of his raiders. The leader pleads for release, pledging to comply with your terms. Execute them both on the spot. Better to not have that kind of headache. In for a penny, in for a pound. Execute. Okay, we are a nihilist. Now we can put our attributes and skills around. Now, as I said, the punt skill is a unique one to this game. So, it is the ability to have a punt, essentially taking a risk on something uncertain. Your player has a pool of punt points they can draw on, and they can attempt to use them if they fall short of a skill. So let's go. What do we got here? Strength, agility, resolve, awareness, intelligence, and charisma. They kind of build into various different stats here of fortitude, temperance, or wisdom. So as a surveyor, we are temperate and wise by the appearance of things. So I actually think I want to put a bit more into intelligence. We're going to be quite smart and quite aware, I think. This affects range, damage, and perception too, so I don't mind the idea of being a smart boy who's aware with some decent agility. Do we want a bit of charisma too? Probably not the worst idea. How far can we go up? We could be 10 on the intelligence. That's not a bad idea, actually. Maybe let's just like kind of min-max that a bit. We'll go 10 awareness, 10 intelligence. Yeah, I don't mind that. So we've got 30 points to spend on our skills. Now we're probably going to need a few of... Like, I kind of like the idea of the punt skill, so we're going to put a few into that. Just to allow us to kind of make use of that unique skill throughout the game. You can see the points then correspond to little extra abilities that you get here. So We get an additional accuracy +6 per point spent in combat. That's pretty cool. Okay, what about leadership? Don't really love that. Tinkerer, so we can use swanky devices. Okay. We could be drunken master. We could be... So we're vigilant. That's one of our things. So we already have... We can prepare an attack and fire on them. So it's vigilance is basically like our Overwatch ability. That's pretty cool. So we're already a bit up there. And we probably want either Deadeye or Shooting Mastery, right? So Deadeye is an ability. Shooting Mastery just increases our ranged attacks. So we're probably going to want that pretty high too. So let's put that up quite a few points there. And do we want... I don't care about melee. What's Barbican? What do we want here? I mean, Tinkerer... There's no like trading or anything. That's just charisma. What's biology? Maybe we just sink more into our punt skill. Get that up a bit. Start our journey. Let's dive in. We have our character.
You made it. Good. My name's Jake Anderson. And this here's Bally Hall.
Alright.
Truth to tell, wasn't sure you'd make it. Between the wildlife and the attacks we'd seen, what you might have met with some misadventure. Aldersyde's dropped off the radio waves. Could be nothing, it could be something. Either way, Surveyors Guild wants you to take a look. Me and Jonesy will tag along to help out, in case it's the something. Then we'll head to Kokeby to escort our mate Mick back to Brookton. Sounds simple, but Mick's the mayor of the bloody town, so let's all just get him home in one piece, yeah? It's an easy job, not expecting much trouble, but better safe than sorry, yeah? Let me introduce you around. Ella's over here, she's my second. My cousin too, her and her sister Mad, who's keeping watch from the crow's nest. Don't get on their bad sides.
New blood, eh, Jake?
New surveyor. Remember how I told you the guild's updating its maps for the area and hired us for protection? This is it. Figured we'd make Aldersyde the first stop, since we haven't heard from him in a while. Jonesy and I are going to make sure everyone's cozy and safe. While we prep for the trip, why don't you show the newcomer around?
Alright, we can say I don't need a minder. Pleasure to meet you, or remain silent. Are we the strong silent type? We are the strong silent type. Quiet, eh? Good. Well, get on just fine then. Can't stand useless chatter. You fancy seeing the place? Meet the colourful locals? Ready whenever you are. So, you've already met the boss. That leaves Jonesy, Dreamer, and Mad. May as well say hi to Cole too, even though he's not a scout. Otherwise, he'll feel left out.
Let's go.
Alright, so really good voice acting in this game already off the bat. Like, you can tell that right out the gate. And it's quite nice on my perspective to hear the Aussie accent in an RPG and in a game. I think that's quite fun for me, really. So let's just have a wander around. I actually really like the graphics and the modeling too, and the washed out kind of the red deserty look with some of the gum trees and things. Like it's picking up the Aussie vibes.
No.
Okay, so we got to get on with it. We got to go look around, see what we can find. All right, what do we got here? Nice of the scouts to have a place where you can go to let one rip. Just make sure you're unaccompanied. So it's a toilet, right? Entering a compost warrior. So compost toilet. What do we got around here? Oh, can I grab something from there? Nope. Doesn't. Oh, it's just a tool bench, right? Okay, who's this? Ella. She raises her hand to the young woman as you approach her. Dreamer. Jake asked me to show this surveyor around. A surveyor? She steps back and looks you up and down. Yep, it's a surveyor all right. Not what I'd call round, though. She smiles broadly at her joke and sticks out her hand. I'm Mishti. They call me Dreamer. Okay, we can say pleasure to meet you. You look young. Why Dreamer? Still be quiet. Let's ask why Dreamer. Ella's nickname for me, yeah? Made the mistake of telling her my plans to hike across the Nullarbor, and she told me I was an impossible dreamer. Name stuck. It was a joke, sure, but I like the name. I like the role. Seems like dreams are in short supply these days, yeah? We've got something. We've got to have something to look forward to. Okay, then we can say, ooh, if we don't have dreams, we don't have anything. It's a good name. I like that response. Let's do that. She beams. You're alright, mate. Anyway, my job here, such as it is, consists of 2 main gigs. What I do best is convince people to stave their bullets. I diffuse fights, make sure people get along, keep the blood inside their skins. The other job, cleaning up the mess. Okay. The way you describe your job makes it sound like you're a negotiator. She beams. Exactly right. If we're looking to get civilization rolling again, we can't just settle our problems by making more corpses. Not, mind you, that some people don't deserve to be slapped around. She tries and mostly fails to put on a fierce face. And I'll be right there to hand some slaps out. Alright. Anything I can help with? That's really kind of you to ask. As a matter of fact, I could use a hand with a couple of things. And Jake wanted you to get some time in the firing range. Make sure you're as good as you say you are, you know? She gives you a quick smile. Last fellow was a bit of a legend in his own lunchbox. Now he's dead. She shrugs. Better to know up front if someone's aim is a bit shit. Corpses aren't so great at self-improvement. She turns around to survey the encampment. Let's see, Jake wants you to get your gun warmed up, then I need some scrub cleared off the paddock, and a tub filled with water. Easy peasy. Okay, we could lie to her, say that we've done it all, or we can whine a bit about the job. Let's just go, alright, if that's all, I should get moving. Let's do it. Alright, we can highlight areas, that's fine. Don't really care about that just yet. Let's go down here. But it is good to... Ooh, supplies. Yes, we do care about that. I want stuff. Give me stuff. Oh, nice. Hunting knife. There we go. Take all. Get some loot. Okay. What about this boy? What's here? Jonesy.
Name's Jonesy, mate. Who are you?
Okay, we got some voice acting again. Good.
That trip you and Jake are taking to Aldersyde. Seems he's coming with you. Surveyors Guild wants to check the place out too.
So it's a milk run then. Maybe, but you're getting paid for it. Hopefully not looking for any excitement today or remain silent. Let's go back down our silent but stoic type. She shoots you a quick look. Not the way I'd put it when the client's present, but yeah, it should be easy enough. He claps your shoulder. Whatever the day brings, you've got Jake and me with you, mate. We'll keep you safe. Hate to ruin this heady discussion, but I'm supposed to keep squiring our friend here around. You and Jake are headed back to Brookton after Aldersyde, yeah? Yeah, gonna swing by and see me old mate. Gotta update him on the kill count. Okay, and we've got some various reputation kind of, various ethical kind of options here. So we can Machiavellian talk about a fierce reputation. Nihilist kill count, sure, if that's your thing.
It's not just about the killing, mind you. Though just between you and me, fuck the raiders, rustlers and other assholes shitting up the place. Let them piss in their boots when they hear my name.
Don't let him fool you. Under that bloodthirsty exterior lurks, well, the heart of a killer. But under that, not a bad guy. Not if he's on your side. Well, unless you're a farmer. Then you should lock up your wife and daughters, livestock too.
You know me so well, Ellie. Except the livestock thing. No one can prove that.
Watch out for her. She's secretly not always mean. Alright, bullshit. I'm made of mean. Anyway, like I said, we've got to keep moving. You got anything more to talk to Jonesy about? Alright, we're supposed to be doing target practice. Let's do that. For sure. Okay. She's left and we get to do some target practice. Okay, continue. Get stuck into it. Alright, we've got our pistol out. This is combat where there is an optimal range for various guns. Okay, so 58, 58. We've just got a little crappy revolver by the look of it. We've hurt the mannequin and we've flanked it. Nice. We do not have enough AP, I think, to shoot it again. Okay, so we've got to end. We can reload and then turn. We have move points and AP. So fire again. We've missed because we suck. Reload. And then turn. Yeah, we really needed some more agility, didn't we? Having only one shot be possible per turn is going to absolutely blow. I mean, we could punch it, but that's not... Okay, we killed one. So maybe we need to move up here a bit, and then... Nope, missed. Disappointment all round. Let's get right up here so he's not behind cover. 100%. There we go. And he's flanked. He won't get around me. Okay, maimed that mannequin. One more. So the tutorial bit is tutorialing, so that's about as what we would expect, but at least we know how basic combat works. Alright, not bad, mate. Yep, cool. She says nothing but gives him a tired of your shit stare. And we continue our journey. But we now know how to shoot things. And we had to fill this up, didn't we, with water. That was a thing that we needed to do. Okay, fill the tub with fresh water. There we go. What do you consider it? A bunch of chickens. What do we have? Ooh, a doggo. And camels. Okay, what did we have to do over here as well? I feel like there was something else here. I didn't really listen when they gave us our jobs, so can't remember. But who's this, mate? Oi, Cole. The gangly young man wipes his hands on his coverall when he sees you. His carrot orange hair flops over his eyes and he gives you a broad grin.
Surveyor, the guild's asked us to see why no one can raise Aldersyde on the radio. Jake and Jonesy are going to be an escort for this one while we head on to Kokobee.
Alright. What I mean to say is they're going to be muscle in case you need it. That's bloody fantastic. I'm just about done with the repeater array here and should be powering up with the solar panels in no time. Get your scouts back up and on the network in a jiffy. It'll all get sorted once I can hit the market in Kokobee. And what I really like is they've kind of highlighted here Aussie slang for anyone who doesn't know it to kind of give you a bit of definition for them. I think that's pretty cool. She holds up her hand. Steady there, Christmas. I was just making an introduction, one thing at a time. You raise Aldersyde yet? Oh, crikey, no, not yet. That's why I mentioned Kokobee. See, your modulator's shot, and I don't have a spare, so it's a good thing we're headed up there. Once I get that modulator, everything else is golden, and you'll be right as rain. So you're saying there's no word from Aldersyde, the scouts didn't have... Okay, let's just ask about Aldersyde. Yeah, not physically possible with the modulator shot. I mean, they've always been pretty quiet on the radio front. Real out-of-the-way place, you know. Nice people, but they're pretty quiet. I mean, farmers generally keep to themselves. I figured they'd send someone if they got in trouble, so they're probably okay, but... Right, talking too much, sorry. The scouts don't have a working radio then. Till we get this modulator sorted, might as well learn how to use passenger pigeons or reflecting mirrors or something. You know, mirrors are great in the daytime, well, the sunny daytime, but kind of worthless at night, and cloudy days, so yeah, we need to get to Kokobee for a new part. Alright, catch you later, Cole.
Sure thing. Good luck in Aldersyde.
Alright, let's talk to Mad. She's up here. Look up there in the crow's nest. That's my sister Mad. She'll be staying behind when the rest of us range out on our jobs later.
Mad, the surveyor's headed to Aldersyde with Jake and Jonesy.
The woman in the watchtower wears drab brown clothes, loose and comfortable. Her face is hard, her build muscular. She looks like she wrestles roos for fun. She scowls down at the makeshift turret, from the makeshift turret. Who needs a babysitter to visit the farmers? We can say, not my idea. We can raise our hand and say, I do. Let's do that. That's funny. I like that. At least you're honest. Well, don't you worry. Jake and Jonesy will get you there and back safe enough. Most people around here are smart enough not to fuck with them. Seriously, though, should be me out there and Jonesy up here. Why am I getting stuck with the bog job? Probably because no one wants you spattering some farmer's guts from here to Perth. Fuck you, Alla, she says without rancor. Hey, before you go, new kid. I need you to make sure the perimeter's secure before you all head out. Don't want any unpleasant surprises. Alright. What do you need? Not going to run your mouth then? We'll get along fine. She chews her lip for a moment, studying the fence and points. I want you to circle around the outside of the fence. Check it for holes. If a dingo can fit through, call it out and we'll patch it up. No need for you to get your precious hands dirty. Just you need your eyes. Alright. Don't mind repairing it though. She sniggers a bit. You don't have to be so eager, mate. We're no strangers to hard work. All I need are your eyes. Besides, don't you have a Kokobee run? Get this done and you can head on out. Okay.
That's all we're gonna get out of her. Come on. Let's
go check around the fence. Ooh, a metal chest. Can't leave a metal chest and not take all the bits, right? Take all. Done. Got to get all that loot. Should we equip something here? Let's have a look in our inventory. Okay, we've got a hunting knife and a pistol, little revolver going on. We do have a spike club. About her, she's rocking a pretty decent rifle there. Something that you may or may not know, I assume most people do, but you may not know about Australia is that we do not have a hell of a lot of guns. You cannot just own a gun, like lots of people do, but you need proper registration and licenses, which in my opinion is fantastic because I work in schools and things like that. But it would make for an interesting post-apocalypse because it would be really hard to get your hand on firearms because there wouldn't be that many around. Lots of crossbows though. So, hold up. She stops and motions to a section of nearby fence. A small pile of dirt is next to a shallow hole. We have an awareness check that we succeeded. These scratch marks looks like dogs have been going at it.
Bang on. Dingo's been digging here again. Little bastards have been busier since Mishti turned the place into a bloody chook farm.
Anyway, she'll have to get that filled in today. So dingoes, if you don't know, kind of look a bit like a cross between a dog and a fox. And they're pretty cool, but they're also very vicious, or they can be. Some people have them kind of domesticated. You notice a piece of corrugated iron board coming loose. Oi, check it. What? Looks like another loose spot over here. She takes a closer look at where you're pointing. Nice find. Reckon a new bolt or two is all she needs. This thing's been patched up since, geez, well, since before, I reckon. Might be there's not even a single piece of the original wall still here. Wall remains, though. Let's keep moving. Alright. Yeah, here's some dingoes. These boys. Oh, we get some combat. Nice. We can retreat from them. That's concerning that it's telling me that the dingoes are going to be too powerful for us already. Okay, can we start with... No, we can't start with Ella. Or can we? No. Turn orders up the top, you moron, Matt. Okay, do we want to get closer? I don't feel we really do. However, I mean, will we get a more viable shot? No, we won't. But, that is a bad start. Okay. In turn, let's see whether we can get some better hits out here. Yeah, she's only going to be allowed one shot as well. Do we have... like cold shots do we have? Yeah, we got Deadeye, we got... Okay, we can use some various skills here. Let's use Deadeye. Yeah, nice. Okay. He's sprinting and I'm about to get eaten. This is disappointing all round for me. What have I got here? I can use... What if I use Deadeye on my main guy here? Yeah. Oh, bollocks. But I guess if we do it again with Deadeye, we've got a good chance of hitting. And at least killing one of them. Nice. Now we get eaten. Okay, nope, he missed. No, he got me. That's disappointing. Yeah, healing... Not going to heal right now. We're just going to try to take him on out. I could use Vigilance, which is probably what I should have done before. So the moment he moved, I got a free shot on him. But I did not think it through, so that's okay. Let's just... We need to reload. Yes, that is a thing that has to happen. But not with this guy. So we should finish him off. Yeah, nice. Alright. We can skin the dingo. Now they're right on top of each other. Yep, there we go. 2 dingo meats. Nice. Successful battle. Though I am somewhat injured, but that's okay. These are little signs that tell you that, like, you know, there's animals that you can expect to see along the road. They're all over Australia. Kangaroos on them. What do we got up here? Still looking for holes in the fence, aren't we? Here we go. Hey, here's something. Inspects a hole in the fence. Bloody thing's falling apart. Mad will need to patch this one up properly. She shouts over the fence. Oi, Mishti, you hear me? Tell Mad she's got a proper patch-up job to do out here, would ya? Oh, she's gonna love that. Well, I reckon that's enough to keep Mad off her ass while we're away. Nice work. Oi, Mad, found 3 lovely jobs for you. Should keep you from falling asleep while we're gone. She snarls something unintelligible and turns away. Well, your eyes work and you can follow instructions. So far, so good. Right, good enough for now. Let's get you back to Jake so we can get on the road. Okay. I haven't done all Dreamer's jobs, unfortunately. I kind of mucked that one up. So, how about we wander back to her. We see if we can at least, like, I mean, we filled up the thing with water. That's not too bad. She can't complain. And then maybe we can hit the road. Oh, there's beer over there. We definitely want the beer. Just checking there's nothing else we can loot before we go. Drop bear beer. There we go. Alright, Dreamer, what you got going on over here? Let's talk about the job she sent me to do. What was it all that she wanted? Does it all have to be done today? Yep. Can't remember what she wanted me to do. Well, do we have a journal? We have a journal. Okay. So, the order of things, we got that. Side quest was the value of labor. Clear the scrub from the camel paddock. Okay, that was the one thing we had to do still. Which is this one? Right, we could have just hovered over it, we would have seen it. Cool. Alright, remove the scrub. Alright. Done. Well, sort of remove the scrub. Alright, Dreamer, we did all your fetch quests, mate. Alright, let's talk about the jobs. Finished everything. That's bloody fantastic. Great work, mate. She gives you a big grin. I definitely owe you one. Remind me at the pub later, would you? Here you go. You saved me a ton of trouble. Anything else today? Okay, we've got a water bottle and some XP. Nice. Alright, let's get on the road. Come on, Jake. Just checking. Yep. The moral compass.
Heard you having your chin wags with everyone. How you finding Ella? She's rough around the edges, but then we all are. It's why I like to have her squire people around. Anyway, what'd you think of the place?
Okay, we can use the surveyor ability close to fresh water in the rainy season, far enough away to keep from being flooded. Good setup. Let's do that.
Not that there's been a flood in my lifetime, but Grandma did mention wading through water tits deep with a baby camel over her shoulders back when they were first getting set up. She really thought of everything when she designed this place. Anyway, it's about time to head to Aldersyde, yeah? Should be safe and easy. When we've wrapped up there, we'll meet up with the others up in Kokoby, and then we'll meet up with Mick, Brookton's leader, and follow them back to Brookton. Mick can be a real charmer, or he can be a right bastard. He's a hard man, so it's best not to bullshit him. He's Jonesy's adopted dad, so once you meet him, you'll understand Jonesy better. Anything else you need from Bally before we go?
Nah, seen all I need. Let's go, mate. Yep, we've wrapped up what Mishti and Matt asked for. Let's get moving. Okay, best of luck with everything. We'll meet you in Brookton once we're done. Jonesy, grab your gear. We're rolling out. Same, we're on the way then, she shouts to the other two. Cole, Dreamer, let's get on the road. You know the drill, Ella. Stay safe and don't be stupid. No wazza. Jake, none of the stupid leaked into my side of the family tree. We're all set.
I would be deeply offended if I was smart enough to understand that, I'm sure. But look, keep your skin in one piece, yeah? This goes double for you, Mishti. If you're outside the gate, you don't let your guard down.
Got it, Chief. See you later. Alright, let's go.
Welcome to Aldersyde, mate.
We've leveled up. Sick. I love that there's a beer can opening sound for a level up. Alright, he nods towards the fencing beyond the trees. You spot a watchtower in the distance. And a absolutely gut-shot dude. Welcome indeed. Jesus, what happened here?
A thin, ashen-faced man hides behind the tree, clutching a hand over his belly. His shirt is soaking up the blood from a horrific wound. He's gasping for air, but waves his other hand at you, shooing you off.
Go back, he gasps. They've gone crazy in there. Shot me for... He grips his gut. God, it hurts. His hand drops, but his eyes close and he licks his lips. So, thirsty. He makes no move to seek cover. Instead, he cups his mouth with his hands and shouts at the guard post peeking above the settlement's walls.
Oi, Aldersyde! It's Jake with the scouts! Don't fucking shoot!
Beside him, Jonesy unlimbers his rifle, frowning. Best be ready for anything, he mutters. Alright, we can keep our hands away from our weapon, kneel next to the wounded man and inspect his injury, or draw our own weapon and look for cover. Let's check out the dude. He's bleeding out fast, the blood is dripping from his shirt into the hungry dust. You're not sure he can be saved. Jake? Thank God you're here. Watch out for that one, he's with the raiders. He laughs weakly, bubbling and wet. I'm not a fucking raider. If I was, I wouldn't have come here all alone. Farmers, dumb as a box of hammers. Please, water, just a sip. He looks over the man without pity. Bloke's dying. No point wasting water on a dead man. It'd be kindest just to put him out of his misery. Alright, how we can... Ooh, we got options. So we can say, how's it kinder to kill him? What if we just let him bleed out? We can ask some questions. We can kneel down and give him some water. We can bandage his wounds. We can put him out of his misery. Or, tough break, but he's too far gone. What's he got in his pack? Yeah, nihilism. Let's do it. You bastards, he whispers. You miserable thieving scum. I hope you choke. Hope you die. His pack is weather-beaten, but sturdy, a well-maintained leather affair. It's full of odds and ends suitable for trade, pins and needles, rags, water bottles, and whatnot. There might be something hidden underneath all of that dross, though. Okay, what do we want to take? Take a closer look at his backpack. There's nothing remotely dangerous inside, unless you're a torn shirt that doesn't want to be mended. Fuckers, gasped the peddler. Alright, oh, but I want his stuff. I didn't take anything. That's a shame. What if we just let him bleed out? Cruel as hell, but I suppose you don't want to waste the bandages or the bullet. Up to you, I suppose. Maybe consider what you'd want in his position. All I want is a sip of water, just a taste. Can you answer a few questions for me? Water. His breath is coming harder and harder. He starts to twitch and jerk. He coughs a bubble of blood and then slumps to the ground. He's dead. You let that drag on a bit, mate. Why didn't you make it quicker? He was dying either way. Does it really matter if it was fast or slow? No, don't suppose it does. Brutal. But we didn't get anything from the pack. That's a shame. Listen, if I'm ever in that situation, there's no hope for me. Just end it, yeah? Got no taste for a bloody long goodbye. And don't take my shit till I'm dead.
Enough chit-chat. That was a bloody mess, eh? Literally. And nothing really gained either.
Let's get on with this Aldersyde visit. See what's what here. First thing, let's visit Amos. He's the mayor here, and most likely he'll be waiting for us straight through the gate. Alright, we're coming in.
Don't shoot, you pricks!
Don't shoot, you pricks. Love it. Can we go... Yeah, let's go to his pack. I don't want to miss that opportunity. Yeah, nice. Take it all. Rad. Little small saw. Awesome. Alright. Now, we're getting a bit long in the tooth, so we're starting to get to the point in the video where I need to start wrapping things up. And what I need to say right out the bat is that this game released to a very mixed reception. It wasn't so... I mean, it was pretty buggy in its first instance, but I mean, with a lot of RPGs and indie-based games, I think that's to be expected, and it's not a big deal, although some people got their noses really bent out of joint about it. But it did have quite a few little areas where the game didn't quite make as much sense or work in the direction that they kind of wanted it to go. And so the developers have been incredibly responsive with this title and patched the hell out of it and made some pretty significant and sweeping changes to the mechanics of the game. This whole area right here, this was not in my original playthrough or the early access. So this was not the first encounter you had when you first left the town. Instead, you found a boy and his mother kind of shot in the middle of the road, and you had to make a bunch of decisions about that with his father. So they have significantly changed the game, and for the betterment of the game. What do I think? I think the aesthetics have done a fantastic job of kind of capturing a bit of an Australian kind of atmosphere. I think it looks really good, and I think that they've put in a lot of detail around little quirky bits and pieces you find all over Australia, like wheelie bins and things like that. Just you kind of... It's probably hard for you to really realise without being Australian, the little details that are in there. But I think they've captured quite a unique environment, and I think that's really cool, and I really like seeing that. And hopefully, if you're from another country, that it creates a bit of a unique feel for you. In terms of the storyline, look, honestly, I haven't played long enough to see where it goes to find out whether I believe it's really captivating or not. However, I am enjoying the characters so far, and I'm enjoying the dialogue kind of progression. I love the morality compass. I think that is absolutely freaking fantastic. I just really like this as a mechanic. I really like the idea behind it, and I like that it links to real world concepts. Like, we talk about nihilists, we talk about, people with Machiavellian traits. Like, yes, we don't talk a lot about utilitarian type people, but we do talk about humanists. And I mean, utilitarian, if you've ever seen the trolley problem and you've talked about that, it is a concept that's coming up a lot in there. It looks like there's some kind of particular traits that kind of you start unlocking as you move through the tree as well. So I've got die for me when targeted by a non-AoE attack and there is an adjacent combatant. This character has a 50% chance to swap positions with them. Or apathy, you can't be bothered with social norms and don't care what other people think. This trait grants you immunity to being humiliated. I love that. I think they are really cool little elements to this, to the kind of role playing and the mechanics of the game. We haven't actually been able to play around with the punt skill, which I'm a little bit not disappointed, but I did kind of want to show that off. And I do think that's a really cool mechanic that kind of lets you just take it's kind of like fate points in a way, but you can roll the dice to try something that you wouldn't otherwise normally be able to give a shot. I know early on the game was in a pretty rough state, so I know a lot of people kind of decided that it wasn't for them at the time, and it got a bit of negative feedback. But if you are, like me, an RPG lover, and you really enjoy kind of turn-based combat, if you enjoy rich stories, and if you enjoy, most importantly, kind of a unique setting to explore, then I actually really think Broken Roads is one for you to give a shot and really try out, see whether you like it. I mean, it's Australian Fallout in a less brutally apocalyptic world. Like, there's a lot of settlements and things that kind of have a bit more hope to them, and there's a bit more kind of commerce and attempts to kind of keep things going, and I'm impressed. I like this game. I like that it exists. Yes, it could use some work, but even I love that there's Vegemite sandwiches and VB cans, and the Aussie meat pie. I don't know. I enjoy that these are the things that they've included in this game. So this is Broken Roads. Look, take a look. Wishlist it. Look for it on sale. It does drop down quite a bit. It is a lot more polished than its initial release, sorry. So if you're seeing some negative kind of commentary, take a fresh look at it. Read the patch notes. Anyway, this has been Sidequest Gaming. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. Hopefully this might be one you want to consider taking a look at. As always, have an amazing day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.